Okay, we're diverting a little today. Not going to talk about a miracle of Jesus so much, but more just some of the personal experiences I've had. And a few years ago, I noticed that there is a difference between just regular people, regular religious people, even people who follow whatever religion, and then true followers of Christ, true loving people. Like you'll meet someone who, and after a few minutes, you can tell there's something different about them. The peace, the light coming from their eyes, the smile. That there is something different about them, and I think that I've noticed that they truly have the light of Christ in their eyes. And you might go to church or whatever, and you might see a lot of people trying to be like Jesus. And then there's those tiny few who it seems like they're there, they've arrived. And something I've noticed about these people, getting to know them better, is that they have been through hell in their life. They have been through horrible experiences and had to rely so much upon their faith and Jesus to get them through some horrible things in their life. And a few years ago, it almost got to the point where I would meet someone. I talked to him for a little bit. I'm like, this person's different. There's something really different about this person. They are a true loving person, follower of Christ. And I started to notice that when I would meet these people, they've been through hell. I know that when I talk to them, there's going to be some horrible things that happen in their life, and that they were able to conquer those with Christ. So I think about life. Like if you see someone, if you go to the gym, you see someone bench pressing 3 plates, 315 pounds. Oh, that's a lot of weight, right? So they're bench pressing 315. What do you know about that person? You know they're ripped, jacked, strong, whatever, but that probably for years and years and years, they have been building muscles to be able to do that. I think it's similar with if you see someone finish a marathon in 2.5 hours, if you have a snapshot of someone crossing a finish line in a marathon in 2.5 hours, for a certainty that their past involves a ton of running, a ton of coaches, dieting, exercise, injuries. Like there's so much about that person from that one snapshot. Bench pressing 3 plates, a lot of that history just from that. From running a marathon in 2.5 hours, so much about that. And not just about physical stuff. If you see someone, a heart surgeon doing heart surgery, and they're doing their thing, a lot about the history of that person, right? From that one snapshot, they've spent decades practicing the skill, studying, learning, growing, being coached, before they were able to get to that point. And I feel like it's the same with the followers of Christ. When you find one of those truly repentant, truly loving, peaceful, that have the light of Christ in their life, that they've been through some incredible things where they've had to rely on Christ. And I was planning on doing this today, and then I read this quote by C.S. Lewis, something he said. Because C.S. Lewis, he is the bomb. He said, "No man knows how bad he is till he has tried very hard to be good. A silly idea is current that good people do not know what temptation means. This is an obvious lie. Only those who try to resist temptation know how strong it is. After all, you find out the strength of the German army by fighting it, not by giving in. You find out the strength of a wind by trying to walk against it, not by lying down. A man who gives in to temptation after 5 minutes simply does not know what it would have been like an hour later. That is why bad people, in one sense, know very little about badness. They have lived a sheltered life by always giving in. We never find out the strength of the evil impulse inside us until we try to fight it. And Christ, because he was the only man who never yielded to temptation, is also the only man who knows what full temptation means. The only complete realist. I just freaking love that, because in my own life I've noticed those certain people that have that light. And I've noticed, like C.S. Lewis says, they're the ones fighting the temptation. And yeah, you might say badness or whatever, bad people, they understand badness, but I think he's right. Like, I don't think they do understand it because they give in. You don't know how strong the wind is. You don't know how strong something is until you fight against it for so long. That's how you know. And in this quote here, that is why Christ has sunken below all of us. This is why he can help us with anything, because he has fought unimaginable temptations, far more than we ever have had. He has fought those, and he fought those his whole life, and he won them. When we meet those people in life that are following Christ, to a much lesser extent than Jesus himself, they're fighting the temptation. We all have that temptations. It's those ones with that light in their eyes and that smile and that confidence and that peace and that love. They're the ones that have spent their lives pushing back on that temptation. They're the ones fighting to be with Christ, no matter what the circumstances. They are fighting, like Christ, against that temptation. Yeah, there's a lot of good people in the world. There's a lot of amazing people in the world. A lot of amazing people of all faiths, and a lot of people who get in a lot of trouble that are amazingly good and kind people. And I love them all. But there are those few who have really fought hard, fought against the temptations to follow Christ. And there's something else. And like that heart surgeon performing heart surgery, from you seeing that heart surgeon do that, you know they've spent so much time in the past working towards that. You see that true disciple of Christ with that love and that light and that confidence, you know they have overcome hell in their lives. And we can do the same. And we can do the same because Jesus did it. Jesus knew the temptation and the badness more than anyone else because he spent his life fighting it, and he still does. So let's join his team. Let's join him. And I'm not saying I'm one of those people for sure, but I'd like to get there. I would like to be like some of those people that I look up to that have that love and light in their eyes. We'll get there, guys. Hang in there.